Hey guys, RPG Tweaker here from rpgtweaker.tumblr.com. Going to speak about my gaming session yesterday for the Emerald Spire. Also going to talk a little bit about some GM stuff and role-playing stuff in general. There won't be any spoilers because this is kind of where we're at right now. It's kind of my own thing that we're throwing out there. But if there is something that comes up spoiler-wise, I will try my best to warn you. So, my group has gotten into this vault. It's basically about a rune lord who's been buried there. He's protected by several animated suits of armor. Other such things happening. The party doesn't really want anything to do with the rune lord because they don't really want to unleash or be killed by or anything along that line. But they are interested in this big vault door that they stumbled across. So the party manages to crack it open after some dispel magics and some lucky dice rolls for the disable. So they get into it. They trick the iron golem. They instead of engaging it, they make it fall down a giant hole, get smashed, killed by these other inanimate knights that are guarding the room below where it fell. So that's all good. So they go into the vault and they're like, "Well, we have stuff now. So like we're gonna check out like all the gold coins and like, little bits and bobs, all the magical items that are there." So they're happy, kids in a candy store. So now the ranger notices that there's like in amongst the coins and stuff there's like a chest. I'm like, oh cool. So they go and unearth more of it as they scoop coins and move stuff around, and they notice this chest is huge. It's like 15 feet like long, and it's like 5 feet wide, so it's huge. So they're like, well, let's open this up, and it's like they're like, well, this thing's gonna be trapped. If I had something like this, it's gonna be trapped. That's not metagaming. That's just like, if I had something nice, I want to keep it trapped, keep other people away. So I'm a big anti-meta gaming guy. Like, if someone's not in combat or in a situation, I don't allow them any input into like, you should do this. No, you let them play and make decisions based on the information they have, not the information you are giving them. That is it. I'll do more about that later. So anyway, the group manages to dispel the traps on the chest that are magical. The ranger manages to disable the device. All of a sudden, though, the ranger feels a little burny spot on his cheek. He looks up, and there's a huge emerald ooze just drops down and starts doing slam attacks and tanglings, dealing lots of acid damage to the ranger right off the bat. So the sorceress, Marana, flies away, casts Wall of Fire, a couple other spells, throwing Scorching Rays, other things at it. She's keeping her distance. The barbarian Patrick doesn't really have much range, so he has to go in swinging. Magda is able to, using the like some of the characters in I think actually now all the characters in this party are mythic due to things that they've run into in the Spire. So Magda has Mythic Arcane Strike, so she can imbue her item with a +1 ability. So she's been using Bane. If she's able to identify the creature. Now, she's a skald, she has fairly good knowledge skills and such, so with decent rolls, she's able to kind of identify what's going on for it. So then it really helps her do that extra damage and extra to hits and all the good stuff against those creatures. So, anyway, she's doing deadly aim, shooting arrows, shooting, because she doesn't want to get right into the fire where this wall of fire is, because it's burning the ooze and such, but it's also hurting the players who are in melee. So the ooze kind of grabs one of them, entangles him, hurts him a bunch. He goes down. So the sorceress is like, oh no. So being a good teammate like she is, she blinks in beside the ranger, basically gets over there, and then dimension doors away. Like, poop. Good, you saved your down teammate. Extra good points to you for being a good role player and just a decent human being. So the barbarian is kind of left alone in melee with this thing, so the ooze kind of turns its attention to this and then starts hitting it. The barbarian fails with a 1 for critical fail for his save against its acid attack that destroys its gear. So all of his non-magical gear is gone, so he's left with a belt and a backpack and his hammer. So he's basically just naked as the day he was born. So, and the Emerald Ooze, the reason I chose this thing for here is that I wanted to see how the party would deal with it, because what happens is this thing is moving around in the vault and whatnot, and they're all focused on the fire and stuff. They don't realize this thing is destroying all the metal coins and stuff it's gliding over. Now, I wasn't doing this to like screw them over, but it kind of put a little pressure on them that they have to figure out how to kill this thing or get it out of there quick, because it's eating their treasure. So they fight. Patrick almost goes down. It's being entangled and whatnot. So Magda makes herself bigger with the large person, goes in, grapples this thing successfully, frees Patrick. Patrick runs. She's fighting. They're going in. She breaks free, takes off. And then they kind of regroup. So Marana like brings the ranger back up with a potion, and they just like go back in and engage, and they just fire arrows. They're like doing more ranged stuff. They go full out. The ooze dies, but it starts to dissolve into a huge puddle. Excuse me. So as the thing starts going into the huge puddle, it's eating up the gold coins and other metal objects and whatnot. So the party's like, oh no. So they run in, taking acid damage and such, and they're trying to save and do what they can. So they managed to get about 30,000 gold pieces of gear and gold and stuff, which between the 4 players, including Magda, my NPC, plus the level they're at, and like the fact that they've been kind of starved for stuff with the 9 players, it's going to bring them kind of close to where their character wealth is supposed to be. So what happens is the party's like, okay, we're good. So as they have explored and saved what they could of the treasure and whatnot, they notice that there's like this stone chest thing that's kind of like, hidden amongst some gold coins and things. So they're like, well, we're going to open this. So they manage to do their dispel check for the magical traps and stuff they check for. The ranger manages to disable device the lock. Now, as soon as all that stuff happens and blah, 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 as I was mentioning before, when they were interrupted by the blob, they open it up a crack, and then out comes this... it's from the Emerald Spire. I don't want to give away anything, but basically it's a CR7, so challenge rating is 7, so a decent fight for a level 7 party. And this thing is immune to fire. It is immune to cold. Not only is it immune to fire, it gets healed by fire. So the sorceress, she's like an evocation specialist, but she focuses in fire spells and anything with a fire descriptor. She is basically useless against this thing. She says it herself, like, I can't help you. So this thing kind of like teleports over like a blink, like blook, and hits Patrick down, because Patrick was kind of roughed up anyway. So then the sorceress saves him again by blinking in, doing the thing, using up valuable spells, but again saving her teammate. Magda engages this thing, and because she's mythic, and one of the mythic powers I chose is godlike speed, so I have a base rate of 60. And I can increase that by expending a mythic surge to be 80, because they're a tier 2 mythic right now. So anyway, 80 feet per move action. So I can really like hustle and move. This thing has a speed of 50, so it's pretty hard for it to try and catch up and hit me if I'm smart about it. So she's like, move and shoot, move and shoot, move and shoot, and it's the it has DR, so it's soaking up some of the damage, and she's going like do. So the rest of the party's like, we're out, we're roughed up, we just fought this big ooze, it's not good, so they leave. So Magda is fighting, kiting this thing, so running around, not being hit by it. Problem is that this thing has like a little teleporty hop thing it can do a couple times a day. So anyway, she gets roughed up herself, because she was also getting roughed up by the ooze and such. So then she shoots, runs away, but just to regroup with the party, she wants to take this thing down. She wants to explore the rest of the vault. So the party regroups down a long hallway. So the sorceress casts greater invisibility on Magda, and that's where the session kind of held off for that. So if you guys ever have any questions or anything you ever want to know or request of anything, for those of you that watch this, please feel free to throw me an ask message. I'm super friendly, love to talk about all things role-playing. I'm going to try and keep this to 10 minutes, so I just want to say I love all of my followers. And I hope you guys have a good day and good gaming. Talk to you later.